through Friday from 7 to 9. When you see that notification, we about to go live. Hit this track and do you dance like you Karen Lacey. Run it back and turn Matthew to the house, baby. It's Tingle and Co. From 7 to 9. Come keep with the show. It's a new era. Let's get it, let's go. From 7 to 9. It's Tingle and Co.
All right, good morning and welcome in here on this, what day is today? Thursday morning. Still,
Buddy
yes,
Sanji 1 to 3.
You do have Buddy Sanji's show today. Welcome in on this beautiful Thursday morning. Appreciate everybody joining us as we are continuing to trek and push on through the off season. First words when we walked in the studio, I looked at Lloyd. I said, "My friend, what are we going to talk about today?"
We have a commitment today, fella.
We do. Lamar Brown. I think 12-15 on ESPN2. He is the #1 player in the country, I believe, and also the #1 player in the state of Louisiana, listed as an athlete, ATH, which is probably the most interesting athlete listing, because a majority of the time when you see ATH next to a player's name in the state of Louisiana, or just in general, it's like
Juwan
a
Johnson,
wide receiver, DB, or a quarterback that's going to play DB or wide receiver when they get to college, this, that, or the other. This is an ATH that is a offensive line, just a straight-up trenchman. I'm going to play O-line and D-line, protect my quarterback, and attack yours. Lamar Brown will make his commitment today at around noon on ESPN2.
and honest to God, I don't know what position he's going to play. He can literally pick. If he
Oh,
wants to play
he's a five-star at
on
both.
I've never really seen that.
It's crazy.
Before. And so, yeah, athlete tab warranted.
Yes,
But
yeah.
it's almost like I don't know how the recruiting pitch goes for which one it's up to him, right? Like, wouldn't you imagine that?
I feel like that would probably.
But then you would placate to him and tell him whatever you want to hear.
Right. What position are you most
And then you change
enthralled
it.
by? Okay, that's what we're recruiting you to play.
And then you sign and you're on campus.
And then you sign, you get on campus, buddy, we're going to play you wherever you fit.
But you can't do that anymore because the transfer portal.
Yeah, not exactly. Or, unless there's
Nick
an
Saban
opportunity
was
for him to
notorious
play.
for that.
Of course.
We see you as, of course. You're playing defensive line, buddy.
Yeah. Hey, Marcus Spears, you're not
Yeah,
a tight
you're
end.
not a
big
tight
dog.
end, and you're not playing basketball.
How about you become a first-round pick as a defensive lineman?
And I was right.
Yep. But, no, I guess that is true. Like, it's not the
That's why coaches are upset.
Well, yeah, they're losing. They lost their fastball.
Their leverage.
Like, they have no leverage in these situations anymore. So it will be interesting, like, how teams have recruited them and what position, and if that plays any factor. Like, I don't know specifically where, and I guess we can ask. We'll have Jerit Roser of On3 and Louisiana versus All Y'all. Does great coverage of high school football here in the state of Louisiana, and has really dove into some recruiting stuff over at On3 and does a very, very good job. He will join us at about 8 a.m. this morning in studio and give us some of his insight on kind of that recruitment, that situation, what he expects to happen at around noon today. But then the rest of the recruiting class that LSU has that they've put together, and what really the biggest thing in recruiting at this point now is what they expect that to look like in December. Like, when you get to signing day, what do you expect that class to truly look like? We will talk to Jerit Roser of On3 in Louisiana versus All Y'all at 8 a.m. this morning to kick off hour number 2 and get everybody ready for the Lamar Brown decision today at around noon. Lloyd, do you have any feel whatsoever on that decision? Like, any?
The only person I don't have a personal relationship with Jerit Roser. I trust his opinion very much as he works with On3.
Right.
The person I do have a relationship with, he's very happily married, but one Shea Dixon, and he's kind of like, and this is what I think the conversation is. I know we normally don't do it this way, but I was talking to somebody that has been recruited before, Jared Mitchell.
Yeah.
And he was saying the difference of, and it's like a tale as old as time, of guys from University High that are like, dude, sometimes you want to get out and see something different. It's like, I didn't want to do that because I was at Westgate. Like, that's totally different than being on campus in Baton Rouge. Like, LSU was everything. That was really the only school I was going to. But he was like, there is some merit, and you've seen it happen before with Dylan Moses,
Christian Harris.
You have a litany of guys, Tim Williams, that have gone from U-High to different schools because it's like, dude, I kind of feel like I know what that is already.
Right.
And he's like, there is merit to that of feeling like you know what that campus is. He goes, and it could work one of two ways. Like, I want to be there, or I want to, like, I feel like I've done this for 4 years. And that is true. Like, I could see that where, like, I feel like I grew up on this campus. Like,
right.
But UI should be and it is a coup for LSU to be like, open door policy, come through anytime you want. Like, you can see how LSU works, and I do think that is a benefit, but there's also guys that are like, I want to see what's on the other side of it. And so you see them take visits to Texas A&M, to Miami, and to, Florida? Like, that's what Lamar Brown's looking at. Now, those visits have been cut in half to where it's a 2-horse race between Texas A&M, LSU. And like I said, the only person that I've really had conversations about this with is Shea, and he's like, for what my money's worth, like, there's no reason it shouldn't be LSU, but that can change at the drop of a hat.
Yeah,
literally.
No, actually,
yeah.
It is
one of the more toss-ups that LSU's been a part of.
Yes,
recently.
that's what I was about to say. I can't remember one where it's just been this clear. Like, nobody has any idea of kind of what the decision's going to be, and because this is somebody that has been talked about since he was like an 8th grader at LSU, going to camps and showing off, and everyone knew, hey, when you get to that 2026 cycle, that O-line, D-lineman at U High is probably going to be pretty special, and now he's the #1 player in the country. We'll get into that more as the show rolls on, and like we said, we'll have Jerit Roser join us this morning at about 8 a.m. from On3 to discuss LSU football recruiting and the Lamar Brown decision today. 12:15 ESPN2. Prediction-wise, I don't really have a thought. Like, I guess I'll try to come up with one when we get back into it later on. But one thing I do want us to sit back and look at are these LSU workout videos that have been coming out lately.
This is meathead Tingle.
But I'm just like, not just that, but also LSU football fan, like diehard fan Tingle of like, this is
your perfect storm for you.
This is awesome. Because, like, one, you want to get me fired up about the energy this team has. Like, they are crushing the content stream from an LSU football social media standpoint. Like, you want to get the fans to continue to be bought in on the 2025 season, give them the mic'd up videos, the Freak of the Week videos, the different kind of challenges they'll do on TikTok with the who's your celebrity look-alike, what teammate is this, showing off the bond that these guys have. I mean, like, Aaron Anderson starts off the video of who's your celeb look-alike. He goes, Lil Uzi Vert, and it's just normal whatever. Garrett Nussmeier comes up next. They're like, who's yours? He goes, Aaron Anderson. And then later on in the video, Kyle Parker says his celebrity look-alike is Aaron Anderson as well, and gets the guys around him to start dying laughing. And then now, these workout videos they've put out. We showed the Dom McKinley 400-pound power clean that looked like it was a feather on the bar yesterday, the Caleb Jackson bench press, and now you've got Carius Kern, which let me take a second here. When Lloyd plays this Carius Kern clip, this is an 18-year-old freshman. Like, this is a kid who was obviously very highly touted. When Brian Kelly talked about
number
Carius
one rated
Kern,
offensive lineman in Arkansas.
Yes. Do you remember what Brian Kelly said when he talked about Kern?
Physically, he's ready.
And you're about to see why he said that. Brian Kelly was not lying when he said that Carius Kern is physically ready for college football.
Restarted because, I mean, that there ain't no doubt that man's about to throw it 425.
No.
Ooh.
Tyree Adams getting him fired up. I love the little routine. And this is like close grip. Like, his hands are close to each other.
That was so easy.
So easy.
Bobo on again.
Dude.
Meathead.
Yes. And I love it. Packed leader. But, dude, I mean, that weight moved like it was a knife through butter.
And we have we were wondering what Caleb Jackson did.
Yes.
415.
Oh, wow. It's your running back benching 415 pounds.
Because we had Jay Mitch watch the video yesterday. He goes, He's like, whenever I was in there, like I threw up 405 one time, and he goes, that's 415.
Yeah.
He goes, what position do you play? It's like, well, Jared, you're a baseball player. It's like, not then.
Yeah,
Like, that was
I mean,
football weight.
That's
But nothing to take away from Carrier's Kern, but that 425 could be 445.
yes, it could. You could bump it up a little bit, but I mean that's the thing. He is an 18-year-old true freshman on this team. Talk about molding a piece of clay, getting them on campus and turning them into something.
He gonna play.
Imagine not just like I'm talking about like. Imagine what it'll look like the weightlifting videos next offseason when he's going into his sophomore year.
At some point, does like that even make it? Like, what's the point
What?
of like 475? Like, do you get stronger? Can he get stronger?
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking about. I know he can physically, but
Yeah.
like weight wise, like to put more weight on the bar because it feels like they're not letting you do everything you can do.
Right. I mean, they're trying to balance in my opinion, the debate between or the issue between like if you go full out like try to max, you can hurt yourself. So like they're trying to not have that happen at all. And I guarantee you they have this very calculated from a number standpoint.
BFS, bigger, faster, stronger.
We
Shout
know,
out Menard.
yes, we know exactly how much he can do. And 425 is not. Who's this?
Carrier's Kern.
Lord have mercy. I'm telling you, like he's going to play.
Running back.
Like that is an athlete. Remember how we talked about Emory Jones being like an athlete at the tackle position? This guy Carrier's Kern flew up the recruiting boards last season. LSU gets him on campus, a part of the team. I mean, he is repping. But this next clip, did you get the email? I emailed the videos over. We got Mansour Delane, I believe, Cohen Eccles, and Dom McKinley as well, that are benching. Also, repping out some. It looked like it was max day for LSU football. So these videos have been awesome. The absolute thing that this LSU social media team, like I said, has been doing has just been crushing. And here is some more of these LSU football guys. This one is strictly business right here. This is CB1.
45, 45, 45, 10.
Let me lay back. Easy. That would be about 335, I believe. Strictly business. Now, Dom McKinley, monster.
My hopes could not be higher.
I mean, I think this is 415 as well. Him and Gabe Relaford.
Ooh.
Uh-huh. Still got it. Looked at human there for a moment. But then you remember he still got the weight up, and it looked relatively easy. Cohen Eccles, offensive lineman for LSU. Can't really see what's on the bar. But he made this
look who else is there. He's
Yep.
just going to be a strength
Look
and
at it.
conditioning
Watch
coach.
it. Check him out.
Easy.
Easy.
What is
Bo Bordelon's a psychopath. We gotta get Bordelon in studio.
Absolutely.
That is.
I need him to take me to the gym.
He's a crazy person. But yeah, I mean, look, this is awesome stuff from the LSU social media standpoint. But what I love is watching them work out, and like Bo Bordelon is the perfect example of like a brother and a leader. Like he's regardless of who's benching right now, he's standing right there. He's the first guy to chest bump you. He's rattling the bar, he's shaking the whole rack while you're trying to bench press.
And it's a leader.
And that's a leader. Like without a doubt, a leader. So really, really cool stuff for LSU football, and that type of energy is what continues to get us so excited talking about 2025. Jay John, what's this one? Yeah, here it is. Look, check him out right now.
Not going to let you not get that weight up.
Red in the face. I love
Bump
it,
into the
dude.
bar.
I love it. He's gonna have a bruise just across his chest from chest bumping the bar.
And we have this one as well. I don't know. This wasn't even labeled.
This is Braylon Moore.
Oh, get it
I
up.
believe.
Oh,
Look who's right there waiting on him.
of course.
I love it. Love it. some dogs, man. Jay Johnson, speaking of dogs, Jay Johnson and LSU has Kansas right-handed pitcher Cooper Moore in Baton Rouge for an official visit this week. He had a really good sophomore campaign last year, 3.96 ERA, 85 strikeouts and 19 walks over 88 and 2/3 innings. So obviously keep an eye out on that as Jay Johnson will continue to try and maul the transfer portal. Will really kind of handpick and select different pieces that they'll need for a team that what?
It depends on who you talk to and how, I guess, LSU operates under some false pretenses.
Oh, here we go.
That's not me.
No. I know. I'm just getting pissed off about the discussion, I guess you could say.
I just don't understand the conjecture. Like, look.
Are you talking about
Tennessee is so funny.
The secret
meetings.
Secret meetings and notes and recruitings?
And the undercutting of the shadow staffs and all of these things that go around. Like, LSU's got 8. And I know they're not talking about LSU, and I know Vitello wasn't talking about LSU, but he's talking about someone.
Right.
And to leave it open-ended is a choice. But he's obviously not going to throw an entire coaching staff under the bus. But to leave it open-ended like that is a very Tony Vitello move. Whenever Tony Vitello, did you not just take 2 people from Arkansas last year that you made? And that's part of the game, pal. Like, you act like you're operating under this. Everybody that comes to Tennessee stays for 4 years and graduates champions, and then they go off to work blue-collar jobs or maybe go to Major League Baseball draft. Right. Like, buddy, this is a competitive field, but to leave it open-ended like that is certainly a choice. And for it, the best part is that everybody thinks it's LSU.
I don't think it's LSU.
It's not.
I would assume it's.
They don't have to do it.
That's what I'm saying. Like that.
There's schools that do have to operate under false pretenses,
right?
And recruit
LSU.
a different way. Pal, I'm the best in the sport. You come here or don't.
Yeah. No, I mean leaving it open ending, like saying something like that, where you're obviously taking a dig at somebody, and the person you're taking a dig at knows you're taking a dig at them.
Which is fair game.
Leaving it open-ended, which I guess, like, if you don't and you do tie a name to it, then it's a completely...
Well, you can't do that either.
Because then you're throwing them completely under the bus, and that's Bush League. Leaving it open-ended also, like, maybe next time just don't, like, just say it. Like, there's no reason to throw it out there.
Vitello never wanted to bite his tongue.
Right.
All of a sudden gets, a little tight-lipped whenever it
Yes.
comes to this situation. Of course, everybody and the Tennessee fan base very much, like, pocket watches a ton because they think they're the best in the sport. Turns out you're not. 2 out of 3, cuz. Like, that's how it goes. Who bounced you from the college baseball tournament multiple times?
Yep.
That'd be LSU.
Yep.
So I get it. So it's always nice to be when you're on top of the mountain,
right?
Keep punching up.
Yeah. Andrew Messina, great point here. So what if it is LSU? We're in the business of winning natties.
Yeah.
No, 1,000%. Like, that's just what the
Father
world
Jay
is.
would never.
No, he's a respectful man that doesn't need to. Doesn't need to handle business that way.
Was a 1,000-yard receiver as a junior in high school, 1,000-yard rusher as a senior in high school.
I'm not surprised.
No, I mean,
when he wants to do something, he's going to be very good at it.
If he wanted to.
Yeah. I mean, I would believe Jay Johnson could do anything.
If he ran for president later this year, I'd vote for him.
Well, duh.
But also I wouldn't because I need him here.
He could do both. We've seen presidents work multiple jobs. He could do both.
What do you say, Grok?
Speaking of what Jay Johnson's done, Cade Anderson, it seems like he might just be
back.
Might just be the number 1 pick in the draft.
If not, you're out to lunch.
Out to lunch. Every single, like the ESPN final mock and everyone I've heard talking about it has Cade Anderson slated as the number 1 selection in the draft. And also, Anthony Ianson snuck his way into the first round in the most recent mock draft.
Earned.
Very much earned.
I don't know if he's a first rounder without LSU, but that's why we're in the business.
I mean, he was a first rounder without LSU, but he was not going to be drafted in the first
There
round
you go. Yes.
without LSU. Talking about the stage and some of the development that he got when he got here, because he obviously had the stuff and the talent. LSU doesn't go out and get you if you don't, and LSU has got now they will have 2 guys drafted in the first round according to the mock draft, and if that does happen, that would be, I think, the 4th time LSU's had 2 or more players selected in the first round. Obviously, in 23, you had 3 guys drafted in the first round with the number 1 pick, the number 2 pick, and then Ty Floyd later on in the first round after Cruz and Skeens go 1-2, or Skeens Cruz 1-2. And then I think there were some other drafts. I don't remember who. I know Todd Walker was one of them. But this would be the 4th time LSU has 2 guys drafted in the first round of the MLB draft. If it does come to fruition, obviously Cade Anderson's a lock. Looks like he might just be the number 1 pick. And then Anthony Einson as well. You want to talk about how did LSU win the national championship this year? How about the 2 pitchers that are going in the first round? Because it was hard to not be confident in series where LSU just had to win 2 games when you know you have Cade Anderson and Anthony Einson on the bump.
That's what we talked about, the regional being the hardest part of maybe the tournament for LSU was you're setting yourself up for a situation that isn't a best 2 out of 3. But what did we say all year? Get LSU to a best 2 out of 3 scenario. What do you have to do? Win 2. Who else would you want to see?
There was not a team
staff.
in college baseball more ready to win 2 baseball games than LSU. Like, it just simple as that. You can Root and Wood at Arkansas. You can say whatever you want. Anderson, Einson. Doyle and whoever else Tennessee's got, Anderson and Einson. And they did it the year before. Like, that team the year before was slated and put in a position to – they can win 2 games. Like, if LSU gets through Chapel Hill, you're pretty confident in Gage Jump and Luke Holman winning you 2 games.
Gage Jump just named the number 1 prospect for the Las Vegas Athletics or Oakland Athletics, whatever you want to call it.
If you're a pitcher and you're not coming to LSU baseball, what are you, Lloyd?
You're out to lunch.
You're out to lunch.
I got to hit him with that because he forgot what he said when he was doing a 45-minute interview. If you haven't seen it mic'd up, I think it was last week. But it was a tell-all. Like, he finally got to smoke a cigarette and exhale, and he went through regional, super regional, Omaha, and was just like, how about that, boys? What'd you think about that? And then got to that point. He goes, I don't even remember what I said, but I was talking about if you're a pitcher and you want to come, don't want to come to LSU. I was like, then you're out. And he's like, you're out to lunch. And I was like, yes.
Put it on a T-shirt.
1:17 a.m. out to lunch.
Andrew Messina, LSU baseball is toast when it comes to their high school signees. Looks like a lot of them are going to go pro.
Out to lunch.
We'll see. I mean, obviously, when you recruit as well as LSU
you
does,
want to be in that conversation.
That's the conversation you're in, year out. But you've seen what LSU's been able to do. No one thought William Schmidt was making it to campus last year. No one expected Derek Curiel to make it to campus last year.
Kate Arambidi.
Now, LSU does have a lot of guys that are going to probably be paid pretty well in the MLB draft when it comes to high school signees, but don't count them out just yet. Sit back, enjoy the ride, as LSU will find out who will stay and who will go. Last headline this morning, speaking of staying, James Borrego with the Pelicans is not joining Mike Brown with the Knicks. I didn't realize Mike Brown was the new Knicks head coach.
Did you see the video of I'd knock it out the park, respectfully.
Mark Jackson?
Did you see his video after he didn't get considered for a head coaching job whenever he was exercising, I guess?
Yeah, it was doing a little workout, a little jog, I think. He's struggling. I mean, the Knicks job, I think he probably thought he had a really good chance
Played there.
Played there, from there.
Is there.
Like he probably thought he could.
Considers himself the architect of the Golden State Warriors. Look, you know me, I'm a futures guy. I was 1 year early on the Warriors. And that was one of the most frustrating seasons of all time because he coached like he played in the 80s.
Yes.
Shoot threes.
I mean, he was instrumental in building that team to what it was.
Eye for talent.
But Steve Kerr was the architect that created. I mean, think just the change that happened from 14 to 15, where it's like, okay, timeout. Steph Curry, 2-time MVP back to back. But Borrego staying with the Pels is a good sign, some good news for the Pelicans. Into the 2 claps this morning. Let's talk about the Saints helmets real quick. Chat, let me know your thoughts on the new Saints alternate helmet. I want to hear some either positivity or negativity, a little yay or nay. What do y'all think? Do y'all like it or do y'all hate it? Lloyd, I'll give you the floor first.
I do have a take on this.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I would say that the Saints had a ton of momentum with their all-white uniforms, and they come out and disgrace them with a black helmet that made no sense at all. Like, if you're going to go all-white, go all-white. And now this is a Brian Kelly moment of reflection, listening, and going back to the drawing board and hearing your fan base saying, why aren't these all-whites? And then they make the all-white helmet. I will contend that the mini fleur-de-lis on the back, like on the stripe, looks like Affliction. Like, it feels like very much like you're going to get thrown into a pond at a golf course. But I don't like the face mask.
The gold, that was my only, like, genuinely.
But I don't know what you do.
My only hang. I think a black face mask probably looks better, and I think that was.
Or white.
Was this. P-Dub said, like it'd be better with a black face mask.
But I'm also excited to see what Alvin Kamara does with this.
But I think it's a great helmet. Like, I think the mini fleur-de-lis, nobody's looking that closely to the helmet when it's being worn. So to me, it's just a gold stripe. Like, I think it's stupid because then there's no reason to do it. Like, you're just doing it just to do it at this point.
Yeah,
I think that's stupid.
this is a great, whether you're an artist or you're a writer, it feels like you're never done with the project. And it's like, let's do one more thing, one more thing, one more thing. They're like, all right, I think it's done. Whatever that maybe last rough draft was probably your final draft, and then you send this one in, you're like, oh, still got approved. And it's like you go back and look at it and go, probably didn't need to do that, but you want to do everything you can to make sure you get a good grade. Probably had a better version of the story earlier on.
Like, to me, you get rid of the speckles in the white.
I like the speckles.
Really?
Yeah.
I think that's just I feel like that's the same as the fleur-de-lis in the gold. Like, you're just looking for something to add.
Okay.
I think you just go white and then you just go with the gold
But it
stripe.
accents with everything else.
It does. I just feel like you can't see it when you're looking at the helmet, so there's no reason to add it.
Yeah, I just wasn't mad at it. I was like, oh, pretty cool.
Yeah. I like the helmet.
I do too.
Mr. Walking Man helmet is horrendous. Stop
No.
freaking with great uniforms. No, I disagree. I love icy white.
Like, these are sick.
No, it looks awesome. It's gonna look great with the
Yeah,
color, with all white.
that's what people aren't.
They're not gonna wear this with the black and gold jersey and pants. It's gonna be with the all whites.
If I had one, like, if it's hard to complain about,
No, it is.
but if I had one, it would be the face mask just feels a little bit like you got to fight for that inch, like those uniforms.
Yeah.
Where it's like almost feels made up, like it's not very NFL.
Right. I mean, and I like a darker face mask on the helmet anyways. Like LSU, I love the purple face mask. Like, I think it would look like when they wore the gray ones that time, the throwback helmets,
Burrow.
the Joe Burrow, and they had the gray. It looked off. I like the dark. I think a black face mask would look really good, but I get why they went with gold. But my favorite thing is I'm glad that
righted
what
it wrong.
Messina says. I like when the NFL allows teams to wear their throwback uniforms. I love that as well. I'm just glad. Like, I think this one's a win. Like, as much as like a bunch of people on Instagram were like, "Oh, well, maybe the Saints should get some players and not new helmets." I was like, "Yeah, but at least you'll look good when you lose." Like 7-10 never looked as good as it's about to look with these white helmets, these white caps. So I think it's a win. I think the Saints did a very good job. Jerit Hills should go black helmet with the all black unis, white helmet with the all white unis.
Absolutely.
I think that would look excellent. But I think the state of Louisiana has a pretty good track record with these white helmets. LSU, great white helmets. Now the Saints with the white helmets. Tulane's white helmets are excellent.
Oh, that was a debate on Twitter. I don't know if you saw that.
I saw that.
Of which is the best white helmet. Tulane's are sick. But they're also candy ass. Like, they're not competing for anything real with those on, but they look cool. Saints are borderline candy ass.
Right, because they're not competing for anything. Like,
but you look good. It's like a USSSA team, like, oh, best team at the park.
Right.
It's like, oh, y'all suck?
I did see, I think it was Boot Crew put something out, like ranked all the helmets in the state of Louisiana. And LSU was like 4. The gold LSU helmet was like 4th. See, I'm going to pull up the, see if I can pull up the graphic so I can look at it. Because it had the Saints gold helmet ranked at 3. I don't know if I think the Saints is a better looking helmet than the LSU helmet. And maybe I'm just a homer.
No, but that's a boot. I mean, Boot Crew's probably what, based out of New Orleans?
New Orleans, yep. So just maybe that's a homer take on the other side. Maybe it's a homer take on this side.
Both are great. Like, if
so
Louisiana has done anything right.
Right. It's
uniforms.
So the top
Classic
5.
uniforms, not Oregon, not any of that, like, oh, you're on the cutting edge. It's like a classic look that
traditional.
Tulane is even in that, even with the whites, like in the booger. Like, it still looks good. It just feels like a very classic kind of almost, you can't really fuck with it.
Right. The top 5 that Boo Crew put out was Tulane's whites, number 1. Best looking helmet. Hard to disagree. Like, I'm just saying, just from a genuine looking perspective, they are a very aesthetically pleasing and attractive helmet. They have the all whites 1, 2, 3. Tulane white, Saints white, LSU white 1, 2, 3. And then
brother.
What? And then Saints helmet number 4, LSU helmet number 5. So I don't know. I'd probably shift it around a little bit, a tad.
Oh, look, they put it on Twitter. And Southern has a great white helmet.
Yep,
too.
great white helmet. Even the McNeese one at the bottom. I don't think the McNeese one should be last because I think that's a good-looking white helmet as well. But if you were to move around that top 5, what would your shakeup be?
I mean, the LSU white helmets are fire.
Yes. We're just looking at this sheer aesthetically pleasing, taking out.
I can't.
You have to take that part out. The tradition aspect does not play a factor in this. It's just from looking at it.
Well, 8 is 10.
I agree.
7 is 9. 9 is 8. 6 is 7.
10 is 6.
Sure. Or no, 10 is 7. Oh, the Southerns are.
Yeah. 10 is 7. 6
solid.
stays. Because I love the McNeese helmet.
5 to 1, 4 to 2, 1 to 5, 3 stays.
So yours would be LSU gold.
LSU and the Saints gold helmets are iconic.
LSU gold, Saints gold, LSU white. Tulane white, Saints white.
Yep.
Okay, I agree.
Look at us.
But
I feel like that's the right answer.
I mean,
and Gramblings are strong.
No, I mean, really every helmet on here is okay. I agree with that one. That's not
a good
strong.
Helmet. It ain't 8.
The rest of them are strong. I think McNeese at 10 is like robbery.
It should be 8.
That McNeese helmet looks great. It's got a great logo. The blue and the white look good.
Yeah, they nailed the face mask.
Yes.
To helmet ratio.
Because Louisiana Tech, white helmet, white face mask.
I wouldn't even be mad if they you could get a little crazy with if you did a blue face mask or a red face mask.
Yeah.
Because it does lose its luster a little bit. That's why McNeese goes ahead of Tech.
Grambling helmet.
Iconic.
I mean, look at it. I mean, all black helmet, the black face mask with the black helmet, the big G, fire. And then Southern, of course. Yeah. And then Southern, of course, just
But that's where the face mask color plays. Like,
Yes.
That's where I get what the Saints are doing, but it also just feels a little of that ilk of not professional league. Like, as we're talking about McNeese, we're talking about Southern, we're talking about Tulane, and then you're the New Orleans Saints.
Right. Yeah. But no, I agree. I like your top 5.
Thank you.
I like the list in general. I think we agreed on that pretty well. So, see what we got in the Fonz. Raging Cajuns is last.
Absolutely.
Glimmer Saints new helmet
Doesn't
being
belong
2 is
on
too
there.
high. I like it and all. Yes, too high. McNeese definitely needs to be up there, 6 at least. Let's see. Brian Burgess asks, who has the best helmets in the NFL? I mean,
Dude, I don't know if that, but they do have a classic
They do.
uniform.
Let's see. We need to find all 32 helmets. Get a real good look at this. The Bengals.
I
I love the tiger stripe helmet. I'm trying to think who else. Did you see the Commanders throwbacks yesterday?
How throwback did they go?
Logo didn't change. But the uniforms look great. Let's see. We got a Rams vote in the chat.
I was
The
actually
Rams do
thinking
have
about
nice
them.
helmets. Andrew Machine, this is peak off-season talk. This is what it's all
Oh,
about,
yeah,
baby.
absolutely,
This is what it's
brother.
all about, baby.
I was thinking that to myself.
Oh, yeah?
I love the Niners.
Yes, Niners is a great helmet.
Browns obviously super. Wait, what? No, this is old Jags. That one stinks.
Vikings helmet with the horn.
I think it could. Eagles.
Yep. The Eagles do have a great helmet.
I really would say
God, the Saints really do
Saints
have...
pop, man. I love the Niners uniforms just in general.
Yeah. I do love the Bengals helmet. This is an old picture because that is not the Commander's helmet.
Oh, that's the one. That would be 1-1. I thought you told me that they had new uniforms. That's from Yahoo today.
Jared Hill's Chargers. The Philly Kelly Green helmet and uniforms are the best.
Yes.
Those are excellent. The Dolphins old. Well, see, now if we're going to go into the conversation of throwback NFL helmets, there's some really, like the Broncos throwback helmet with the big D.
Oh. No,
big
no.
D on it.
The Bronco? No, it's the
Yeah, is it not the horse is
Yeah,
like
it's
through
the orange.
the D logo?
yeah.
Yeah,
We're
Yeah.
talking about the same thing.
we are. We're on the
Those
same.
uniforms are elite.
Yes.
Same thing with the Philly Kelly Greens.
Yes, the Patriots with the Patriots snapping the butt. There it is. So those are excellent. I'm trying to think of another. I mean, the Packers are just like a classic helmet. Like when you're talking about tradition, that's a traditional.
Steelers?
Steelers are right there with it.
Old
The Dolphins.
If we're doing this, yeah. I was going to say the Seahawks throwbacks are sick.
Yeah.
This is
me
peak
see.
off-season talk.
This is, but I mean, like this is also fun. I mean, the Oilers helmets were great with the big Oiler logo on the side. It was
my
white
God.
with the blue and red down the middle. Let me see if I can find some throwback helmets. Oh, the Buccaneers, where they have the the white helmet with
the
the
creamsicle?
orange, yeah, the creamsicle face mask with the Buccaneer logo on it. What else do we have?
It's so
Obviously,
funny
the
when
Dolphins.
You just Google NFL helmets.
Uh-huh.
It's just like for sale, which is so sad.
It is. It is very sad. Trying to see what else. Some of these other throwback helmets. The Falcons red throwback helmets. Instead of just the black helmet with the black logo, this is the red helmet with the black logo.
What do you think about this one? It looks like a little
Let's see it.
my special tiger.
Oh gosh.
I mean, we could have worked on that a little bit harder.
That's Detroit?
So close to being good.
So, yeah, God, it really could have been great.
But I kind of
just-
like it because it's
'Cause
special.
It really could.
Looks like
Like,
he's stretching.
it really could be a very, very good helmet.
What
But it
don't
looks-
you like about it?
The lion. That's the only, like, there's a better lion right there. It's a 10 out of 10 helmet. Like, I love the matte blue with the gray face mask. It just looks like they superimposed a
gave up.
child's
Ran out of
drawing.
time.
Like that. Brian Burgess says best throwback unis would be Tampa Bay Dreamsicle.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, Tampa's honeysuckle uniforms are sick. Tom Granning says do a tier helmet list.
We could.
We can do that until 8 a.m. until we have Jerit Roser join us to get into the LSU football recruiting.
This is what it feels like Detroit did.
Oh, gosh.
We were close.
Almost had it.
I'm out of time.
We got to put a line. Whose kid drew a line? We got to put it on there.
This is a New York Jets moment, which actually would have helped the New York Jets. No, New York Giants, excuse me. Dad, why don't you just trade up and draft Jade Daniels? He's the best player in the draft.
Yep.
As he's...
Yeah, just thinking about ball, man. It's the best player in the draft. I mean, he won the Heisman.
Dad, you only get this job once.
Yeah, like they might as well
Once
just
you
draft
leverage the
quarterback.
entire somebody else's future with
Right.
the best player in the draft. I don't know if the Commanders would have traded, but that kid has that take on tape forever. Like that could get you a
Forever.
job.
He's going to get a job in an NFL front office. Saying,
Despite his father.
do you see how I can identify talent?
Dad, just trade for Jaden.
Jaden made the NFC Championship game in his rookie season.
And you don't have a quarterback.
You don't have a quarterback. You got Jackson Dart now. Can you pull up? Do they have a helmet tier list that we could do? I would assume they have one already made, right? Tom says old Jets unis were great.
Yeah.
I agree. Let's see what else. Steelers have the best helmet, simple and iconic, says Brian Burgess. What else we got? Cowboys Messina with a Cowboys vote.
Oh.
They did say the Philly Kelly green helmet and uniforms are the best.
Yeah, when
Those
you
are,
start throwing alternates around.
I also do love a powder blue. The Chargers powder blues.
Yeah, they do too much
Great
with them.
unis.
And I know Hester would get mad at me because he defends the Chargers to the death because they drafted him. But, like, the new uniforms almost went overboard.
Oh, the ones that they just came out with? All right. So let's start with Tier D.
Okay, I can move them.
Okay. Let's start with Tier D. What would you classify as a Tier D helmet?
Just so people know how a tier works, S is the best tier.
Yes.
A, second best. B, I don't understand how this was. I don't know what they stand for.
Right.
But that's how tiers work because it is confusing. But S tier is the best tier, and then you work your way from the top to the bottom. S tier,
Yes.
S tier,
Yes.
S tier.
You can call us homers if you want. Those are S tier helmets. What else would be an S tier helmet?
I think that might.
Yeah, I think that's probably. I mean, that Rams helmet, it's either an A or an S. Really?
I don't know if it's an S tier, but it deserves to be A tier.
Yeah, I would say A tier.
The logo itself, like the new Rams, no Blaine.
I would put Rams A tier as well. Really? You don't like it?
Not that one.
Eagles?
No, I think that's the S tier.
You think
You have
Eagles
to
is
respect
S
the tier. I think there's only so much there. If we're going to,
No, I'm saying Eagles A tier.
oh, A tier for sure.
Yeah.
And then this is borderline.
Yes, borderline. What else would be? Cowboys?
Yeah, just don't like them, but that's
know.
not fair to do. Where's the old Cowboys star?
Yeah, Brian Burgess says Steelers S tier.
I wouldn't be mad at it. We can reconvene.
Yeah,
Where's the dumb fucking Cowboys helmet?
it's next to the Browns.
This one?
Yep. No.
It is iconic.
It is. What else?
Now,
Is that Ravens the first one?
mm-hmm.
The Ravens could have such awesome helmets.
Yeah, but they've never changed anything,
Right.
which I respect because of the franchise.
Vikings. Where would you put that? Okay. Yeah. See, Patriots, I think, is probably B tier as well. It could.
Yeah. Ugh.
Really? You don't like, what is it? You don't like the logo?
It just because the other one's so good.
Yeah. No, I get it.
This one, trash. Not so bad. Not.
Yeah, no, I go there. Really?
It's a good helmet.
B. It is, but I'd stick it B.
No.
No, there. Yeah. See, like the.
Ugh.
And the Titans should be D tier. Don't like that helmet.
Now, if you give me the Falcons red helmet,
the red one is
S tier. That's fine. Obviously.
Yep.
Obviously.
Yep.
Obviously.
Yep.
Sure. Gross. And
better than what that used to be.
Yes, and I
the
think
one with the gradient in the back. The Blake Bortles, the 20s.
They almost won the Super Bowl.
They almost won the 2017 Jaguars team with Lenny's rookie season.
They got bailed out by phantom offsides.
Yes, they did. Tom Granning says no way Chargers B tier.
Okay, that's fair.
Vegas says
I'll
Green Bay, and Cardone also says Green Bay should be S tier.
Yeah, I'll hear arguments. Yep. That's what we're doing this. I don't mind putting Green Bay up there.
Vegas says Rams should be D tier.
Yeah, I hate this.
I disagree. I don't hate that helmet. I like that helmet.
That one?
Jags D, sorry. Bigas says.
No,
I think that's I like that.
It could be C.
Bigas says Colts A tier.
Yeah.
We debated it a little bit. What else do we have? Bigas also says Patriots should be S tier.
No.
You weren't going to get him to win him over there. So there's your tier list of NFL helmets. That
was pretty quick.
Yeah, we kind of rocked out. Let's see what else, if there's anybody else. Bucks, C tier, says Brian Burgess. See, it's hard to not hold it against the teams that have such good throwbacks.
I don't like the big logo.
Yeah, it's massive.
It's like, that's what, I mean, we have to go with what we're, presented. Like, if I could pick the old Washington helmet, it would be S tier.
Yeah. No, I agree.
The Browns will forever be D tier.
Forever. Like the Oilers helmet?
S tier.
S tier. Trying to think.
Broncos, S tier.
Yes. The Patriots throwback.
Yes.
S tier.
Old Seattle, S tier.
Yeah. Old Dolphins.
And there's a theme here. The teams that did not change their helmets ever at any point.
Yes.
All S tier. And I'm surprised that, like, the Raiders and the Eagles and Steelers, those could all be an argument for S tier.
Yes. Yeah.
But
and Cowboys, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of people would put that there.
Yeah.
But I feel good about this list.
No, I think this is a good list. I'm not mad at this list at all. Dawson Baker says Cardinals D tier. Pat's S tiers I take back, but it is an iconic logo. Show it to anyone, anywhere, and they know the Pat. Same with the Cowboys. I agree. Bills red helmet S tier, says Michael Johnson. I do like the Bills red helmet. But we're going to take a quick break here as we're getting up and close to our number
This is not
2.
where the show was intended to go.
No, not at all. But that's the best thing about the show.
Oh, yeah, we'll roll.
Yeah, we'll go wherever the road takes us here on Tingle Co. We will take a quick break and come back with Jerit Roser of Louisiana vs. All Y'all and On3's Sports to talk some LSU football recruiting and get you ready for the Lamar Brown decision at 12:15 on ESPN2. I'm going to put my prediction in right now. My crystal ball for Lamar Brown, I'm going to go A&M.
I will.
Oppose me?
Yes, LSU. Okay. I think he is doing the masterclass.
I hope you are right.
I think nothing wrong.
Yep.
with wanting a little bit of fodder, a little bit of attention, but Coach Davis don't swing and miss too often.
No, I'm with you.
And if you wanted to play the other side of it and say, well, why is he getting so many other recruits? I could see that side too, but I feel like whenever they – and you made a great point earlier of – and we'll get to this whenever Jerit comes on, but just a little food for fodder.
Yes.
Food for thought, if you will, of when A&M circles somebody, they tried to get – and this is a guy that –
Jacoby Matthews. I mean, they
a Louisiana guy that they're like, if we can get one. But this one feels too big. And
this is the number one player in the country at university lab school.
And it feels like the argument of you're on campus here has kind of been played out because now the money's equal.
Right.
And LSU has proven that they can and will spend. I just don't think, unless it's a Bryce Underwood $10 million, I just don't think you let him see the door.
No, I agree. I mean, I think if you're LSU, this is one of those ones where you cannot let him get away. This is the number one player in the country on offensive lineman and defensive lineman, two positions where you've seen the ebbs and flows of what it can look like, and you've started to recruit at a very high level of when you talk about offensive line, and now the defensive line is on that trajectory. This is one of those ones you can't miss if you're LSU. So we will take a quick break. We'll be right back after this.
Hey, Tiger fans, when you're traveling through Natchez, Mississippi, make sure to visit Tom and Wright Branding at Go Mart and On The Go Deli, where you can fill up your tank and your belly. Go Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you may need on your trip. Located at 4 Sergeant Prentice Drive as you're entering Natchez on the left. Also stop by Wardo's Po' Boys at 309 North Broadway on the beautiful Natchez Bluff, where the Po' Boys are so good you'll swear you're in Cajun country.
When it comes to your home, the roof over your head matters. At CAS Roofing, we don't just install shingles, we build peace of mind. With years of experience and a commitment to craftsmanship, our team shows up on time, gets the job done right, and treats every project like it's our own home. Whether it's a repair, a replacement, or a storm damage that caught you off guard, CAS Roofing is ready. We're local, we're dependable, and we stand behind every nail, every shingle, and every promise we make. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about roofing, it's about protecting what matters most. CAS Roofing, built on trust, backed by quality.
All right, welcome back here. Hour number 2 officially underway. We are going to get back into the LSU football recruiting conversation, as obviously today is a pretty big day as the number 1 player, Lamar Brown, makes his decision at 12:15 on ESPN2. Seems like it's a 2-horse race right now, but there are 4 teams in the mix. We are joined by Jerit Roser joining us live in studio to talk some LSU football recruiting. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, man. Glad to be here. Appreciate y'all for having me.
Of course.
Definitely a big day.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's the day we've all been waiting for. Huh? It's kind of been the one circled that the rest of the recruiting lives have just kind of been focused on.
Yeah. I mean, I was telling you guys, I told Lamar last time I saw him in person 2.5 weeks ago maybe, man, I'm just waiting on you at this point, trying to get a little bit of July vacation in. June got so busy with the recruiting camps at LSU and obviously keeping up with the baseball team and their run to Omaha. And then there were a few commitments circled for that July 4th date, as there always are, but particularly in-state. And really also on a national scale, Lamar is as big a fish as there is out there right now. And we've just been kind of waiting on him anxiously, as I know coaches in Baton Rouge and College Station are this morning.
Right. So, I mean, at this point, it feels like a two-horse race between LSU and Texas A&M.
Yeah, I'd kind of, for a while now, started zeroing in when I interviewed him of, look, I'll ask you about the recent visits and whatnot, but I really want to ask you about LSU and A&M because it has felt like those two in a slugfest for the better part of a year, if not beyond that, last summer. And it certainly feels now down to the wire that it is those two and everyone else. And those two have been neck and neck here, really, where, talking to a lot of folks said, I can't remember the last time we were this close to an announcement of this high profile a guy in state that I've been, tapped into the process and really paying attention, that I've been this uneasy, uncertain with it. And it seems like that's been kind of the feeling from the staffs as well, as, we trust their process. We feel good about the relationships there, but no final verdict. And we're all kind of waiting on that on Thursday.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's the craziest part, is that it's hard to truly have a feel for which direction it's going to go, and it really feels like it's just kind of whatever he says at noon today is what the decision is.
Yeah, I told folks on our board over there at Bengal Tiger that,
that's got to be fun.
For the and they're doing great. Look, props to them. I see people on there too. Like, I think I heard Lloyd, you right before the break, and this is something I emphasize repeatedly, is like, some guys want to go different places, and it's as much as everyone here wants to see everyone in purple and gold, or everyone there wants to see everyone in an A&M uni or whatever. Guys have to make whatever their decision is for their one life, and then the programs pivot. And I think the fans on the board have been kind of understanding of that, and they want the hometown guy, and everybody sees how promising a prospect that Lamar is. But I was telling them the last couple of weeks, like, coming out of that conversation with him 2.5 weeks ago or so, there was a lot about the conversation that made my gut feel like it was probably A&M.
Yeah.
And so I've been kind of anxious because there's been kind of tea leaves to be read on both sides. I went to bed last night feeling better about LSU and just kind of the vibes coming out of the situation last night. But I mean, I feel anxious today, so I know they do. I know the fans do. I think Lamar probably does, and that's part of it too. Is I think there have been a lot of days where he wakes up and feels a little bit differently than he did the day before, and that he has a lot of love and appreciation for both these staffs and the opportunities they present. But it is a hell of a day for July to be this worked up about football, for sure.
And that's kind of what I wanted to ask you about. You've covered recruiting for a very long time. Like, you've been in the game.
I'm old, Lloyd.
No, it's not even that. It's just you got in the game early. Like, it's like collecting Beanie Babies. It's not my fault that I have a ton of them. Yeah. But whenever you've done it, you've seen the landscape change so much. How much has your mindset changed towards recruiting whenever you see a recruitment go from, we kind of talked about, July 4th to now July 10th, and then you still have signing day, which has also changed. Like, you were there for the days of, like, the Bayou Bash, where signed, sealed, delivered, done. And now it feels very much in limbo, and I'm sure you've seen, like, kind of the temperature change around the environment of recruiting.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you look at from, like, when Shay and I were first starting to kind of pay some attention to this when we were in college 15 years ago now,
so jealous.
Or whatever, and how much just the landscape of college athletics and the world around us with social media and everything have changed. And so everything is, turned up to 11 in terms of the amount of attention that goes into all of this. And, the way the kids handle their recruiting processes just kind of builds on one another from year to year, and they see what this guy did, and okay, let me do this a little bit differently or whatnot. And then obviously the landscape of college athletics continues to change so drastically with early signing period and transfer portal and NIL opportunities and whatnot. And so it just it really shakes up a lot in terms of roster building and the way the coaches have to go about playing some of these things through the course of the year. And really years. We don't want to talk about Bryce Underwood a lot, but that day last November felt like kind of a watershed moment.
9/11.
Yeah, in the way I was with, prospects this summer, and we'll see where Tristan Keys ends up at the end of this. Like Tennessee and A&M, Miami, and others continue to push for him, but the amount of concern I mean, to the point of like paranoia of where these guys actually going to go, despite the fact they've been committed. You know, some of these prospects are like, man, like Bryce really messed this up. Where, like, everyone's on edge all the time and doesn't believe anything you say anymore. And because, look, there's always been money involved in recruiting,
right?
But it's so much more now in terms of some of the numbers are bigger, and
it's all publicly.
It's all more public, and
yes.
so things can spin on a dime way faster for more guys than used to be the case.
Well, that's where the Underwood conversation changed everything. It became somebody can Godfather offer you $10 million, $12 million, and it becomes, like that. I think that's what caused the paranoia of like, you're not done. Like LSU got it to the 1-inch line.
Yes.
Yeah. Look, I spent enough time with Bryce last year. Like I was a part of that like Flow 7-on-7 group we took out to Florida and whatnot, and the amount of appreciation that he had for LSU and the opportunity that was there. He had his Tiger necklace and whatnot.
Right.
Loved Joe Sloan. Loved the other members of that class. Like wanted to be a part of that Flow group and get a chance to play with Harlan Berry and Teron Francis and all those guys. And then it just kind of spun on him, obviously. And so that I told Shea December signing day, just with that in the immediate rear view, I was like, I don't know that I'm enjoying this as much as I was because everything that we know, all the relationships, everything that we've put into trying to get a lay of the land can now switch like that, and it's pretty nerve-wracking for us who want to be able to give folks the updates and some level of definition to a chaotic world. But
you're
that's
essentially
changed
a
a lot.
Stockbroker.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I have information, like if you want to, like Mad Money, if you want to follow me, like sell, then it can change regardless of the information you have.
Yeah, I don't like uncertainty, like in general. I want to know, like day to day, I want to know what the hell's going on. And so, I mean, to be in this world and the amount of attention that we put into it, it definitely makes it nerve-wracking. But also, you know, circling back to the fact that I am getting a little bit older, I think like just as you get older, you have to have a little bit more perspective and be like, you know, there's going to be another prospect. There's, you know, you have to respect what this kid or that kid or their family want to do, and like can't get all that worked up. And I think even years back, I had enough of a perspective of relationship with the actual prospects and families more so than maybe a lot of fans do. And so, you know, I was excited for Devontae Smith when he catches a national championship winning touchdown. Really pissed off a lot of LSU fans that I was happy for a kid in Tay who I'd watched since he was a sophomore in high school. Yeah. And so I've had a piece of that already where I'm going to be happy for kids. I would love to see them all end up in purple and gold and get a chance to cover them in person for the next 3 to 5 years. But the older you get too, I think the more you have to kind of like even keel out and realize, there's going to be another recruiting class next year, and that you can't get all the way up and all the way down with every decision.
Talk about some of the other guys that LSU was able to get committed kind of last week and some of the July 4th fireworks. I want to start with Isaiah Washington, somebody that not a lot of people I think really knew about before the commitment.
Yeah.
But are starting to pay more attention to now that he's got the LSU commitment. Talk about him as a player and kind of his growth to now being the 3-star LSU commit that he is.
Yeah, I love Isaiah, and I think he's someone that fans, while he's been more under the radar, are going to like an awful lot, particularly once he gets down here, is focused on being a DB and not being a multi-sport, 3-phase guy. When he can get down here and get into the strength and conditioning program and be working with Jake Olson and Corey Raymond and those guys, I think the ceiling for him is real high. I mean, he's 6'1" or so, 170, rangy, and his Golden Tornado team has been in the Superdome the last couple of years, and it's been rough goes in December when they get down there against Oak Grove and South Plaquemine. But I also work for Prep Red Zone Louisiana, which part of that, just like I do with Louisiana versus all y'all, is not being completely focused on the top of the class, but a wider range. And so I've been watching him and putting him in articles of like, look, it's a tough day, but this guy was a bright spot, clearly a really athletic kid there at that quarterback position. There's just been some times where he's kind of fighting for his life against some great defenses that they ran into. But then the end of his junior year, you saw him play a little bit more DB, make some breaks on some balls, great instincts, great ball skills already on that side. And so knowing what can be ahead for him, I think he's someone that we're going to see the different rankings networks really bump him up as they watch him more closely this senior season, and that he's someone that's going to be a great member of the secondary hall for the Tigers.
Yeah, kind of like reminds me of Aiden Anding a little bit, where he was under the radar, kind of got recognized, got the commitment to LSU, and then you saw kind of the rise of his senior season at Ruston. The next one I want to talk about is Trenton Henderson. This was the big news.
Yeah.
And the July 4th was, obviously he's a 5-star on some of the different outlets. What is LSU kind of getting in him? Obviously an out-of-state kid that probably not a lot of people that are LSU fans know about.
Yeah, he's someone that, being an out-of-state kid, I haven't watched as much or seen as much, but obviously highly ranked on a national scale, 6'4", 225, long, twitchy defensive end that is going to get after opposing passers. And so a battle for a kid out of the Florida Panhandle, where it's always a challenge to dip into some of these other states that have other SEC programs and other Power 4 programs, and the Panhandle right there, you have to deal with the pull of, okay, well, there's Florida State, and Miami in the mix, but also you're not far from Georgia, Auburn, Alabama, and Texas was very heavily involved with him. And so I think great job by Coach Peoples and Coach Baker and those guys to dip into Florida and get a guy like Trenton Henderson that the really top programs all over the region, all over the country wanted to be a part of their signing class, and now you add him to that hall with Richard Anderson and company to kind of lay the foundation for this 26 group coming to Baton Rouge, and it's an exciting get for sure. Yeah,
Richard Anderson is the next one I wanted to talk about. Obviously, he's been committed for a while now. I was at the state championship game against Ash last year when it was just like, I was looking, I was like, that's the best player in the country. Like, it was unbelievable. Talk about him and kind of where he's at right now, obviously at Carr, getting ready for his senior season. Like I said, has been committed to LSU for a while, and it's something that, obviously in this new recruiting day and age, you don't want to just take commitments for granted anymore, kind of like we were talking about. So kind of where is that currently standing?
Yeah, he's been so locked in with LSU, and that's been one of the really exciting parts of this offseason is coming out of that junior year, you could feel the amount of push of other programs that wanted to kind of make him second guess and kind of open his recruiting process back up, but they kind of sorted that out. He spent a lot of time up in Baton Rouge, as did his teammate Aiden Hall, and there's obviously a lot of Carr flavor on this roster right now.
Not a bad thing.
Yeah, for sure. That team has been so much fun. That program has been so much fun to watch for years and years, and I don't know how closely people are paying attention to to the high school game just yet in July, but this year's team might be better than last year. They're in that mix. They're loaded. But Rich,
because they didn't lose much.
No, that's like, and the places they lost guys, they just have other guys that okay, well, now you got Joel Baptiste, who he's an SEC guy that didn't play last year, and now he's alongside Richard Anderson to kind of fill in for some of those graduated edge rushers from last year. And you've got some great young DBs coming along behind Aiden and Hayward Howard and Mo Williams and Toe Sanders and all those guys. But it's a stacked group for sure, and Rich is as much of the face and kind of anchor point of that group as any. The state championship is a great example where I think the entire state saw, okay, this dude is unreal. He's the best guy that we're watching on the field at any position all weekend of all these state championship games. His size and his athleticism and quickness at his size is absolutely special. And the work ethic that he's shown the last couple of years to go from being a big underclassman that could kind of, I'm not going to say dominate, but have a lot of success just because he was bigger than other high school kids. And Coach Bryce Brown and those guys really challenged him of, we think you can be as good as any defensive lineman to come out of this place, which says quite a bit, but you need to work to get there. And he took that to heart and has worked his ass off and has become a phenomenal football player.
Talk about this LSU football staff. Obviously, when we talk about Richard Anderson, he was being recruited by Bo Davis, committed while Bo Davis was the coach, and then there's a change. And now Kyle Williams is the D-line coach. And just the rest of the staff from, Cortez Hankton, Frank Wilson, Corey Raymond going down, Kevin Peoples, Blake Baker. Just it almost feels like a recruiting super team that LSU's put together from a coaching standpoint.
Yeah, I like the group, obviously, and the amount of – you talk about the recruiting side in particular. There's a lot of passion there for getting out on the road and going to find the next generation of Tigers and building those relationships. And just, a lot of, joie de vivre of this world of being a college football coach right now. It's not for everyone. You see guys that want to get out and not have to deal with that piece of it. But I think these guys, there's an energy to them that really resonates with the prospects and with their families. And you're seeing it pay off in a lot of ways on the recruiting trail. At that defensive line coach spot, that was kind of the big change earlier on this offseason, where we're kind of waiting to see, okay, what's Kyle Williams look like as a college coach? And I think very quickly you saw the energy he brought to practice every day. Right. And then, I wrote a story coming out of one of the camps this summer where Jakeem Jackson's younger brother, who's a 2029 prospect, picked up an offer from Kyle Williams. And I shared the story despite the fact he's a 2029 kid, because there were some interesting tidbits. If he had been like a youth Heisman running back who watched Leonard Fournette film before his games to get hype and then grew into this defensive lineman over the last couple of years. Right. And I thought that also showed, look, Kyle, we're waiting to see what type of a recruiter he is. He just offered a 2029 kid and is clearly focused enough on that piece of this job that he's kind of identifying talent early on and guys that he thinks can be a part of this thing long term. And I thought that was kind of an interesting little note for him early on, just like a lot of these guys, identifying talent, building relationships, and getting this thing to the finish line like we're hoping with Lamar Brown today.
Right. Kind of last one, I have some of the freshmen that are on this team now that are part of that last year's recruiting class, whether it's DJ Pickett or Damian Shanklin defensively. Obviously, the video of Carius Kern came out yesterday where he's a monster as an 18-year-old. Talk about some of this freshman class that LSU has this year. Obviously, a lot of upperclassmen on this LSU team, just the way they attack the transfer portal and address different spots. But there's a lot of talent in this freshman group. Talk about that class.
For sure. You mentioned Carius. That's a guy that between his flips and just being like a 330-pound gymnast in some ways, and then crushing the 425 or whatever bench press. He's becoming a legend before his college career even starts with just his all-around athleticism at his size. And so that's someone certainly to watch. DJ Pickett, everyone knows, is kind of a starting point that we're expecting to see at corner this fall. Long, 6'4", fluid as can be, can run with anyone. And so you have some headliners for sure. I think the offensive line group as a whole that they brought in, Brad Davis continues to do a great job where, he's gotten top in-state guys. 2 years ago he had to dip into Texas and get some talented players this past year with Carius up in Arkansas, Solomon Thomas in Jacksonville, and Tyler Miller in Mississippi. Yeah. He went into those states that we talked about a few minutes ago and out-dueled Power 4 programs and all these other SEC and Gulf Coast states to go get these guys, and I think that's going to be a key piece of this class. Harlan Berry is a guy that I know a lot of folks are watching. JT Lindsay, I love from Alexandria. Look, if Rich Anderson isn't in a game, then JT dominated pretty much every other game he played in, and honestly racked up what he could against a stout Card defense in December. But that running back duo coming along now a year behind Caden Durham, I'm looking forward to watching both those guys. 5'11", 185, 190 for both of them. Both, top end track speed, comfortable catching the ball, can do an awful lot. And so those are some of the top guys I look at. Charles Ross, super active linebacker from out of Texas, and a great linebacker haul for Blake and those guys in this 25 class. And so I think as we've watched this staff be compiled and now have given them time to catch up and have full cycles under their belt and be relying on some relationships they've had a chance to build for a year, 2 years, 3 years, that you're seeing the dividends come in. Where there was a point last summer where I saw fans that were wondering, okay, why haven't we seen more from the DB? Corey Raymond, what's he doing? It's like, dude, he just got back here like 3 months ago.
Corey Raymond's lost his fastball.
And then people got nervous because Jabari Antoine decommits and ends up going to Miami and whatnot. But you give them a little bit of time, and now you're watching this secondary group in the 25 class that is great, and DJ is the headliner, but we talked about Aiden Anding and Jacob Bradford and company. Right. And now you look at a group with, I think, Pook Ellis from Franklin Parish in 26 is going to be great, and Haven Finney from out in Los Angeles reclasses up from 27 to 26, and those are two guys that I think are going to be as good as any corners in the country. And so that's, long way of saying give these coaches some time, and they lay the foundation, and kind of you see the dividends paying off in big ways in these recent classes.
And real quick, not only from a recruiting aspect, but you see the transfer portal. Obviously, I feel like from a personal perspective, like your job has changed in a massive way, where it became covering recruiting, signing day, like we talked about a little bit. But now with the transfer portal, and then you see the impetus LSU has put on it with the hire of Austin Thomas, and they continue to add people from his staff at Ole Miss. How much do you think that kind of weighs into how they build a roster now as opposed to 5 years ago, I guess?
Yeah, it's tough, man. I don't want to say I don't envy the college coaches. They're doing better than me in a lot of ways, but I mean, it's nonstop, man. They have to be tapped in all the time. I had a friend who's a high school ranks coach that was out at a wedding this past weekend, and he's like, I think Joe Sloan's going to be out there, like just mutual friends and stuff. And then Joe couldn't end up making the trip. And it was like, Joe had to work and whatnot. But it's July and it's a weekend and blah, blah, blah. I was like, dude, it's nonstop. You don't understand. Right. Like, they're all the time. And I was, out in Lafayette a couple weeks ago, and some of the coaches were telling me, man, you need to take a vacation and recharge before August. Like, why are you everywhere all the time? I was like, I'm keeping up with y'all, man.
Right.
Like, how busy is your schedule right now? And so as the game is changing, they're kind of changing their building to your point, to that staff, and the way that they have to approach some things, and having some people that can keep an eye on guys that may enter the transfer portal, so that once they do, you can hit the ground running, because it's a tight turnaround, an increasingly tighter turnaround to make sure that you go get the right guys and be able to be kind of nimble to the fact that your roster can change in kind of the snap of a finger, and you need to have a lay of the land to work from.
Do you think that the way that roster building used to happen, and you've seen LSU kind of go through the pivots of, this is from the horse's mouth, from Brian Kelly, of we're going to build through recruiting, to we'll use the transfer portal as like a sprinkle on top, to now you see that they had 18 people in the portal to be able to build an entirely different roster. Do you think which way is more sustainable, or which way is the foundation of success, is to either build through recruiting, because that's where transfer portal can obviously hurt you if you sign guys that aren't necessarily going to play right away, versus going to get guys that necessarily don't think they're going to play right away? Like, which way do you think is the right way?
I really like the idea of being able to build a lot of your program through the high school ranks, especially if you want to be sustainable over a long period of time. And as much as we're trying to kind of read off of, okay, how did this look in 25? How's it looking in 26? It's continuing to change. And so we're continuing to watch. A lot of what happened with this transfer portal class for LSU in this 25 winter, 25 turning to 26, the whole world has already rechanged with the direction of rev share, and just seeing that, some of the guardrails and budget dynamics continue to look more, ever changing or settled down. And I think part of
that's the best way. It's if they're ever changing, or is it settled down?
Yeah, like I think we see with some of the Lamar stuff, all of the headlines of, okay, Bryce made this, or what's Jakeem Stewart making, or whatnot. Some of the numbers that it sounds like are the ballpark now for a lot of these guys, as teams have to start focusing more on a budget than maybe has been the case the last couple of years, start to become a little bit more in the same ballpark, and more realistic sounding of numbers that don't kind of like pop your eyes out of your skull a little bit. And so if you're trying to manage all of that, I think you want to identify a good core of high school guys each year, and it needs to be the right group. You have to be able to identify the right guys to get into your building in terms of the talent level, but also the guys that want to be there and be a part of it and can have a little bit of patience and not jump at the first sign of adversity. Lay that foundation there, but then obviously portal, you've got to plug those holes. you're going to lose guys in the portal every year. You've got to be able to kind of replace those guys, or if there's a spot where you missed on a certain position, the high school ranks find the guy that can kind of be that bridge. And so I like more high school, but you've got to be able to do both, and you got to be able to do both at a high level, and there's less room for error than ever before.
So crazy.
It is. It's unbelievable.
Because from an LSU standpoint, it feels like that was the calling card, right? It was like you could be able to recruit the people in state, come to school. You could wait. I mean, Garrett Nussmeier is like the biggest test case of anybody, like from, I guess, Louisiana, quote unquote. But the way that he waited, and could have been a transfer portal guy very easily, or could have gone to the draft very easily. But that's the way that you want to build it, and you have a brand that you're trying to build upon. But then it feels like you have to sell that message. But if you get it right, then that's where LSU becomes like you could be like seed 1, seed A in this whole dynamic.
Yeah, and I hope that folks appreciate Garrett and the way that he's gone about his business as much as they should, because he is, like I say, he's a unicorn in modern college football, but he is not the norm by any stretch, in a really positive way for him. And so I think that's been huge for his development, and I think it also kind of then emanates out to the rest of your position room and to the rest of your program to see a guy that is as talented as him, that is going to be patient and trust the process and be in love with the place that he is, to not jump when he has to wait a year or 2 years or whatever.
Well, we appreciate your time. Thank you for coming in. Great information. Obviously, Louisiana versus all y'all, and Bengal Tiger On3 Prep Red Zone LA as well. Appreciate you. Yeah, I know.
Just trying to keep the lights on, man. So I appreciate y'all.
No, thank you for coming in, and we'll be right back after this.
Hey Tiger fans, when you're traveling through Natchez, Mississippi, make sure to visit Tom and Wright Granning at Go Mart and On the Go Deli, where you can fill up your tank and your belly. Go Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you may need on your trip. Located at 4 Sergeant Prentice Drive as you're entering Natchez on the left. Also stop by Wardo's Po' Boys at 309 North Broadway on the beautiful Natchez Bluff, where the Po' Boys are so good you'll swear you're in Cajun country.
When it comes to your home, the roof over your head matters. At CAS Roofing, we don't just install shingles, we build peace of mind. With years of experience and a commitment to craftsmanship, our team shows up on time, gets the job done right, and treats every project like it's our own home. Whether it's a repair, a replacement, or storm damage that caught you off guard, CAS Roofing is ready. We're local, we're dependable, and we stand behind every nail, every shingle, and every promise we make. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about roofing, it's about protecting what matters most. CAS Roofing, built on trust, backed by quality.
Get booze on the set.
No,
Nuh-uh.
I'm just kidding.
I
That is a
wouldn't put it
great.
past
That's
you.
a great. Have you seen the clip from Two Bears One Cave
Yes.
of Bert Kreischer having a 60
Hold on, let me get it.
ounce
Let me get a sip
jug
of Kool-Aid.
of Kool-Aid? It's actually, and then he pours it in the cup. He's like, "That's actually Kool-Aid."
So much sugar.
What flavor is it? Red.
Red.
But welcome back here as we're closing out hour number 2 this morning. But no, it's not Kool-Aid. It's actually water.
I mean, he could. He would be better to drink booze.
Then Kool-Aid, yeah, probably.
That's a
That's so
week's
much
worth
sugar.
of sugar.
Of sugar, yeah.
And he was like, this is normal.
Yes.
And had to be told, like, this is not what normal people do.
60 ounces of Kool-Aid.
Let me get to the Kool-Aid.
It's unbelievable. Wait, pour me a cup, and it's just red.
Oh, my God, it is.
It's Kool-Aid.
You're doing a bit.
But
Why don't you pour some of that out?
great
It
information.
should be a range fit.
Yes, great information from Jerit Roser there. Obviously, we will all look on at 12:15 on ESPN2 as Lamar Brown makes his decision between what appears like Jerit said, LSU versus A&M. See where the number one player in the country will go. Don't forget, every single day we are brought to you by AJ's Sports Cards. There on Drusilla Lane. Don't forget about AJ Sports Cards. Get over there, check out everything they've got in store because it is a really, really cool collection. You can go get some cards yourself and rip them open, and if you're like Lloyd, you can eat them, I guess. We might have, you know what, Lloyd, let's do that.
The best thing about this is I don't have to if I get it right.
What do you mean?
Like, if I name a team that's not in there, I don't have to eat a card.
Right.
The other best part about it is if I do name a team in there, I do get to eat a card.
It's a win-win.
Win.
So go ahead and name your baseball team, my friend.
Minnesota Twins.
Minnesota Twins. Well, that's a good one. That's a good pick. I'm going to go with the Seattle Mariners.
I think there's going to be a Mariner in
You
there.
think so? I think there might be a twin in here.
And the Twins
Kansas City Royal.
was on the list.
A Pittsburgh Pirate.
Not on the list. Which one?
Roberto Perez. A Milwaukee Brewer.
I knew it! Mariner.
Seattle Mariner.
Delicious for you, my friend.
We've got the Mets. Another Kansas City Royal.
Oof.
Let's see. Yankee.
How many cards are
Guardian,
there? How many are there?
Astro. This is a Cincinnati Reds. Nope, Minnesota Twins. Let's go. Let's go. Mets. What is this? Oh, wow.
We get a
I don't know what
pool?
that is. No, not really. Freddie Freeman. White Sox. Corey Seager. Guardian. Blue Jays. Astros. Wow, we both failed. Remember for that Texas Ranger, they do have a Texas Ranger. Actually, it was Corey Seager there at the end. Where's he at? There you go, Glimmer. Take a bite.
Take a bite.
Take a bite. Here you go, Lloyd. Here's your. See, this was the welcome shower for Buxton, a walk-off waterfall for Byron Buxton.
Seems like it's expensive.
No. Andrew Messina, how many places has this show / the other show been at?
1.
UDL, NewDL. It was at Lloyd's house for a couple episodes.
Yep.
Click Here Digital, obviously. And then this one's here.
5.
5. Yeah, 5 places. But Tingle & Co.'s only been at really one place. Maybe 2 places.
Omaha.
It has been in Omaha. It will be in Clemson. Got it. I think I've got it lined up.
I saw that.
Started doing the organizational standpoint.
The boys in the group chat are almost expecting us to go to SEC Media Days. I don't know any of them, so.
Yeah, well, I don't think we're going.
But they'll put us up.
I don't know if I trust that.
Me either at all, but
Kinda
they seem like
scares me.
they seem like a riot.
I mean, they probably are if they're just going to invite us to stay with them.
I think he has a 4-year-old daughter and 2 sons that are
It's in Atlanta.
7 and 8. Yes, it's in
Who
Atlanta.
wants us to
What, that bores you?
To stay there for the entire SEC
No, just
media
the
day?
LSU.
Just Monday.
I think we're tripped out.
I think it's time for her to stay here for a little bit.
Yeah, that threw us for a...
Right now, I've got August 29th as my circle. Like, I've got that circled on the calendar of the next time we leave and we're not in studio will be because we are driving to Clemson, South Carolina.
The sad thing is, when Jacques said, a lot of people just want to watch it at the house and have like I do love a good house party.
Oh my gosh, yes.
But we have the means and the ride.
Yes.
And Christian again.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think
this one's actually going to be, this trip's going to be different than the last one. Because there's a contingency coming. We've got CAS joining us, All About Inflatables joining us. It's going to be a crew this time. So there's going to be an alternative transportation. I'll fill you in, maybe off camera.
yeah, I mean,
We maybe don't have to discuss it right here on
Okay.
the live. But you know what we could do is maybe like a sporkle or something.
it's been a while since we sporkled.
It has been, and we were already in the game mindset with the tier list.
Mm-hmm.
It's already that type of show, you know. But you did get your information from Jerit Roser, and that's the great thing about this show, guys. I'm telling you, you've tier listed helmets, you've bickered back and forth about Lamar Brown,
Eating some cards.
Lloyd eats cards. Jerit Roser came in, gave 20, 30 minutes of just
Knowledge.
great knowledge and information, and now you do Sporkle. I guess Cal Raleigh can get eaten. Just took his head off. It was disgusting. What we got? Yeah, the Bahamas.
Oh,
At
wow.
worst, you sleep at
Okay,
downstairs.
new game.
Okay, so yeah.
Do you know the dozen?
The dozen?
Daily trivia from Barstool?
I do not, but I'll learn it.
You don't watch it on... Oh, they do a live trivia show,
Really?
and I am in it. But now they have a website. And it's a lot of sports, but this let's see what goes on here. This is a new endeavor here for the boys.
I just
I have no idea how this will
a bit
go.
of card like a pill.
That's the only way to do it.
Yeah. Shout out to AJ Sports Cards. Just the lane.
I can't believe I just found this.
Glimmer, we're going to save that secret for you. I got it right there, buddy. Sitting right here. And we also have the Texas Ranger Josh Smith. Okay. Oh, I've seen the trivia.
So I think I just click on one. We'll go NFL.
Okay.
Which NFC? Oh, clock. What
What
does that
NFC
mean?
team has allowed the least points in the regular season since 2010? Who's had a really good defense
In the NFC.
since 2010? 2010. Who won the Super Bowl that year? Was that the Packers?
Yeah, but that wouldn't be my pick.
Right. I'm just thinking teams that the San
What's
Francisco
funny,
49ers.
That was going to be the first one I went to.
But they've had some bad teams sprinkled in. I would.
Because if you get it wrong, I think you're in trouble. You only have 9 guesses for 3, 6, 9 questions.
Trying to think of other NFC teams. It's not going to be an NFC South team.
No.
And then let's see. It's not going to be
Go to
maybe the Eagles. Eagles, Giants.
Well, they had that bad
Commanders.
team. Was that 2010 with Vince Young?
Yeah. It's not going to be the Cowboys.
No.
What's more NFC teams? Seahawks.
Is that NFC? That was my...
Yeah.
But
Seahawks
I
or 49ers.
Let's go Seahawks because that was the first one I thought of.
Yeah, Legion of Boom.
Green.
We got it right.
Yes.
Let's go.
Fuck yeah.
Good
I
job.
thought they were AFC for
Good on
some
us.
reason.
No, good job. MLB, let's see what I guess.
We're not going to get this right.
No. Despite signing 7 years, it's American League team 2014.
2014, so it would be 2021. He would be done.
You don't know Rosny Castillo?
I want to say the Texas Rangers is my first guess.
I have no idea. So, whatever you want to guess, you can roll with it.
Not right.
That's okay. Let's do history.
Oh,
19 win?
65.
1965. What was going on in 1965?
Chat.
Brian Burgess.
Brian
Hey,
Burgess.
Brian. How are you today, friend? 1965. I want to try to get this.
Well, let's think. I want to say it was I'm not a crook. He got impeached.
I
Richard
feel like this
Nixon.
is after. I think it might be Nixon. It might be. I think Lyndon B. Johnson.
It's one of the two because that's who replaced him.
No, Lyndon was before Nixon. Ford replaced Nixon. Lyndon was the vice president for John F. Kennedy,
who got fucking
assassinated.
banged for
Yes,
Lyndon B.
I think it's
Johnson.
Lyndon B. Johnson.
Lyndon B.
Brian
Johnson,
Burgess,
let's go!
My dad's gonna be so proud of me.
We were all over it. That was pretty
My dad is going to be
impressive.
so proud of me when he sees me get this.
Yes!
right.
Thank you,
Gosh,
Brian.
Shout out to Casey.
Charles Voss.
Shout out to
JLJ.
Brian. JLJ. Who's that?
They corrected it to LeBron James. We can't do.
let's do
movies. Grocery products.
Okay, grocery products. Let's grocery shop. Popular
Brian
bread
Burgess.
of shortening typically comes packaged in a blue container with his name in red print behind a white cert. Is it Wonder Bread?
Of shortening. Shrink.
Oh, a brand, not bread. Shortening. Crisco.
What does shortening mean?
Shortening is an item. I think it's Crisco.
Okay.
Crisco.
What is shortening? What does that mean?
Just let me work, Lloyd. Let me cook. Do movies. Let's go. Biggest was there with me. Meryl Streep.
Crisco, Brian Burgess. This is your game.
Crisco.
Biggest.
Margaret Thatcher in this 2011 biographical drama. What was the name of the movie?
Devil Wears Prada.
I know she was in that. Never watched that.
I don't. Who's Margaret Thatcher?
That's who she played.
I know who. What did she do?
I don't know. How would I know? All I know is presidents and shortenings.
And assholes.
That's you. Let's see. Come on, somebody's got to be a Meryl Streep fan in this chat.
Or just tell me who Margaret Thatcher is.
Is it The Devil Wears Prada?
I think so. That was my only guess.
I say send it.
Iron Lady.
Iron Lady?
I would rather Charles Vaugh, who is 1 for 1. Iron Lady.
Iron Lady, yes.
Let's go, boys.
Shout out. Thatcher was the prime minister. Okay, that sounds right.
Thatcher Heard?
Television. Yeah,
He
Thatcher Heard.
was.
He's the prime minister of Florida.
That's right. Oh,
Joe Rogan.
I don't know Joe Rogan.
There we go.
Which is actually pretty. I mean,
Music?
better than I thought.
We're doing way better than I anticipated.
This R&B trio had the #1 song on the end-of-year Billboard Hot 100 of 1998 with ooh.
This should be. I mean, come on. Now. I was born in 2002, so.
Mom didn't let me listen to R&B.
Is it Destiny's Child?
I know that Dave
that's a
Matthews
trio.
Band. So Destiny's Child is a trio. There's also who had One Eye.
Mom didn't let you listen to R&B.
She blocked some channels on the television. Nonetheless, was still able to find Howard Stern.
Yeah, like that. I mean,
Everything
she blocked from you worked out so well.
Well, all you had to do was type the channel in, and it would go back to it.
Nice.
But it would go from in Alexandria, E was channel 70, so it would go from 69, nice, to 71. But if you typed in 70 on the remote, it would bring you to Howard Stern.
Nobody knows this one either. I wish I knew the song. I don't know the song. Are you about to look it up?
No, I'm just looking up one thing.
What one thing are you looking up? I don't know enough R&B trios from 1998.
I'm going to say TLC. All I looked up was One Eye. Left Eye.
No.
Okay, that's fine.
Wait, I want to see who it was.
I think they tell you at the end.
Oh, Brian Burgess said next is the answer.
Oh.
Yeah, it's next. I thought you said next meant next, like next question.
NHL. A year before, Marc-Andre Fleury Got drafted first of all. The Thrashers took this Finnish goaltender, second overall. I don't know.
Anybody know a Finnish goaltender?
I do, but I haven't called her in a while.
You're laughing so hard. Oh, gosh. Thank you, Brian Burgess. We're going to count that one. The music one is right because you got that right. I don't know.
It sounds like he was a bust.
I don't know these guys.
Because Marc-Andre Fleury is good.
I don't
Who's,
know. I can name you like 3 hockey
Yeah,
players,
do it.
and that's it.
No, there's some goaltenders out there that are good.
Alex Ovechkin,
Not a goaltender.
not a goaltender. Sidney Crosby,
Not a goaltender.
Wayne Gretzky,
Not a goaltender. The great one.
The great one. Anybody know any goaltenders?
God, I do.
Goaltender.
Hardly know her.
There you go. Let's just do X mashup. We'll come back to this one.
Well, I wonder if it makes it wrong. Okay.
Nope.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
That's the girl.
Yeah. What's her name? Anna.
No, that's the girl from the what's the movie where they go to a restaurant on the island?
Right.
Is that her name?
Yeah. And then I don't know who is it.
I think it's the
Benedict Cumberbatch.
yeah, or right maybe.
Maybe. And then what's her name? Why can't I think of her name? It's Anna something. I think it's just A-N-A. And then A.
Not her.
Go down. Is that it?
No.
What's the bottom one?
I'm trying. Hold on.
Well, if you can see it, you can. I was just going to get you to read it.
Oh. I hope I don't give a new one. Okay.
God, what's her name? Anna Taylor-Joy.
That's her.
That's who it is. So that's one of them. There it is at the third one. Anya. Okay, and then see.
He looks so.
Someone said,
The hair.
yeah, it's really throwing me off. Someone said Neil Patrick Harris.
Yes. The
You think
suit.
so?
Yeah.
Oh, dang it. And then we've got some hockey players in the chat. We've got Henrik Lundqvist, Sergei Bobrovsky. Who else? Oh, and then Lehtonen is the last name, I believe. Leh. Yep.
Well, there's a bunch of
which
them.
one? Because Burgess says Lehtonen, but there's 3 of them. Which one is it? Brian. Kari. The second one. Yes, double dip. No, not that one. Double dip the music one first.
Next.
Wish it would give us the answer. But there we go. I like that game.
Me too.
That was good.
Does it not give us the?
And no, it doesn't give us the answers. It's like Athletic Connections. If you get it wrong, it doesn't.
Well, I
take
wouldn't know
you
anything
right.
about that now, would I?
No, because we're about to do Athletic Connections and get it right.
Yeah, well, let's bookmark this one.
I like this one too.
Brian Burgess, GOAT. Yes.
Yes,
We
genius.
all, we
Smart man.
know about ADA. We don't have to talk about it.
Very, very smart man.
Brother.
Let's see. We've got Wagner's. We've got Franz Wagner. We've got Honus Wagner. Or Wagner. What else would be a Wagner?
Billy Wagner.
Billy Wagner. Franz. Honus.
Where's Honus?
Top right. Is there an Aaron Wagner?
Van Wagner? Vaughn?
Van Wilder.
Seen it.
Let's see, what else do we have? It's a lot of names.
Jimmy Ott, Jim Tomei. Okay, let's be serious.
Yep. Trying. Sammy Sosa.
Yes.
Well, who else would be a Sammy?
This could be home run people.
Sosa, Aaron. Yep. And then who else? What's another last name? Ruth, of course.
Ah. Okay.
Yep. Home run people. Good job.
Thank you.
Shoes. Bowling shoes, bowling ball, bowling alley, bowling pin.
Nice. It's Billy Pin.
Billy pin. And then we've got, okay. Okay, then so I think it's Franz, Honus, Billy, Allie, Otzi, Van, Anna. What is this one?
See,
Oh my gosh.
The
Oh my
NHL fucks us
Hey.
16 times from
It doesn't
Sunday.
matter because we got it right. That was a complete
That-
guess on Allie. I don't know who
yeah.
Allie Wagner is.
Let's see.
Look it up.
I'm
Franz
nervous. This could say a lot about you, Noah.
and Honus. Just kind of scared.
Oh my God! She has an OnlyFans.
No, she doesn't.
She's a soccer player.
Soccer player.
Oh,
There we go. Well, shout out to Brian Burgess for being a smart man. Yeah. We appreciate y'all. We'll be back tomorrow morning, 7 to 9 a.m. See you then. Lamar
Tomorrow.
Brown commit to LSU. What did Easton Royal say? I'll put that in the document. I want to close out with this. Lamar Brown needs to look at this and remember this. Easton Royal, one of the top 2027 wide receivers in Louisiana, had a quote when asked about LSU being on his list. He said, "Only the best in Louisiana play at LSU, and the best in the boot stay
in the boot.
In the boot." Go Tigers. Lamar Brown commits to LSU. We'll be back tomorrow morning, 7 to 9.
With Lamar Brown.